up from the fan that I have down here. I do power snatches, front squat plus jerk, and snatch pulls. I'm currently doing some socket presses. That's kind of the general warm up. Been off here for a little bit, but I feel pretty good. I'm just a little worried that I'll be a little sore and achy because I trained really hard yesterday. So I'm kind of taking our time warming up, making sure that everything feels loose. Been doing really the sots press is the stretch for the shoulders and the upper back and all of that, and then on the bench back there, just essentially like stretching my leg back behind me, so setting my knee on that, and then actually pressing my foot against the wooden panel that's there under the flag, and that's been really stretching my quad. So I'm hoping that the addition of quadricep stretching or hip flexor slash quad stretching will help with my quad tendons and allowing them to just get warmed up faster and just be generally feeling better. I think it logically makes sense, so we'll see if it actually does. And then the sots press will of course be there for the shoulder and the upper back. But I've done a couple sets and been playing some chess while I've been doing them, and so I'm going to do a couple more sets while I rock my new AKD shirt and my new hook grip pants. But the hook grip pants are the same as my other ones, so they're not really that new to me. They're just newer, another pair. Those two more soft presses. I'm also doing it without my shoes on, so it's a little bit more difficult mobility wise. It's actually surprising it's getting better than like doing this for the past probably 5 or 6 days, honestly, or well, I guess like 5 days at this point, maybe less. But even the couple days that I've been doing it so far, they've been feeling better because I feel like when I'm in that position, that like last couple inches of the press where you're locking out your arms is where my shoulder is the most tight, and I'm feeling like that motion is just getting smoother, which is nice because means my shoulder is getting looser, and it theoretically means that it's going to lock out the same rate as my right arm. And I will say yesterday when I was doing power cleans, my front rack mobility felt fantastic. So even if it doesn't directly help with the shoulders as far as discomfort or with snatching, as far as front rack goes, that will be nice as well. Well, couldn't see your message, Eugene. You deleted it too fast. But so the goal with I'm going to do more waves today, and the goal is to get up to 100 in the power snatch, so 100 kilos, and front squat plus jerk maybe 140. We'll kind of have to see, play that by feel, and then some snatch pulls since I did squats yesterday. But I got my shoes on, so I'm going to try to do some sots presses without the plates behind me and see if that's possible. Might not be, but I'll keep the shoes or the plates there just in case. That's a tremendous improvement from before, because I really needed the plates back there if I didn't have any shoes on, and a couple of the days I had shoes on plus I was using the plates, so I had both things elevating my heels enough to allow me to get into a better position. But doing it from the floor is just the shoes on feels like an improvement, which is nice. The theoretical next step would be to do it without the weightlifting shoes when I'm warming up, without the plate or anything, but baby steps. I'm certainly feeling like the mobility is better. my brain. But felt pretty good. So now on to probably just the power snatches. Honestly, I'm feeling like I'm pretty well warmed up. Get my knee wraps on and start loading the bar up. Try not to knock my water down. But sides press mobility, big check for that. Let me find this. It's like the perfect temperature outside, just in general, so it's really nice. Theoretically, if I get training done fast enough, I probably might do some. Well, grass is like in between whether I want to mow it or not, but I know with school starting next week, I'm probably not going to want to feel like doing it during the week. It might be too long by the time I get to it on the weekend, but I probably would just delay it and just not do it. But get the knee wraps on. Definitely going to be using straps again today for snatching, just to make sure my hands aren't getting tore up. Hello? Just put my knee wraps on before I do snatches. Hello, hello. And whatever the thing Brian showed. Your brain, whatever it is. It is going well. Hope it's going well with you as well. Get these glasses off so they're not flying around when I'm lifting. I'm not officially blind, so I have to squint when I'm looking at the chat. But I'm gonna do the bar for a little bit, and then we'll start building up. Probably do waves like I did yesterday if everything feels alright. Time to do the 40 kilos. It's good to see Reed. Hey, I saw your you tagged me on the Instagram story. I recognize your name now. I did the SOTS. Well, I did SOTS presses. I didn't do the snatch SOTS presses. I've been trying to progress to do the regular SNOTS presses and do it without shoes on, theoretically. Right now, I've got to the point where I can do it with just shoes without the plates underneath my either empty feet or feet with shoes on. So shoulder mobility is actually getting better. It's actually helping my front rack, which is an unintended consequence, but it was kind of interesting because I was doing power cleans with straps on and I was catching it with like a full grip. I was like, oh, like maybe I should actually stretch my shoulders and stuff like this. But hello England. So I was pleasantly surprised that my front rack felt good. That tells me that, you know, stretching all of that is going to loosen my upper back and shoulders and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. My guy, you can look up my channel name. It tells you my name. Not difficult. Yeah, but Reed, you got a nice setup out there. ¿Cuánto pesa la barra de base? Necesitas hablar en inglés para mí. Mi español no es muy bueno. But I think you're asking how much weight? So these are all in kilos, so this is 40. Yo sabo todos los números en inglés y español. Flexing my, yeah, the bar is 20 kilos. Yeah, well, I got most of it on Depot. I have like a video talking about, you know, me building it, or a couple of them. But the plates I got from Titan, and they were, I mean, they're always, it's Titan, so it's always discounted. And the bar is a weightlifting house, so I was happy with that because my roommate's gonna be moving out with the, I guess, right there, like the Alico bar. He's gonna be taking that with him. So I wanted a newer bar, or one that's nicer, with that. But the only thing I don't like with what I got was Home Depot gave me a pretty crap piece of wood. It's like the black spots on it. I was trying to like spray paint and maybe fill in the cracks. I had to research like glues or different things to fill in the cracks, but it works well enough. So we're gonna do just singles with power snatch. Go 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 on the first wave. Wave down to 85 and 95 and then 90, 100. But shoulders feeling pretty good, feeling pretty loose. And yeah, so for Lisa, I think that's what it is. Not really sure how to pronounce your name, but it is Garante Hilos. Diez más 20. These are a little tender, but when aren't they? When am I ever gonna have a day of training where they're not? Probably once I stop training. But yeah, I don't. This out here, you can see the amount of insulation I have. The spray crap I put on. So in the winter, it's not a. Once it's below about 40, I'd say below 50 is when it becomes uncomfortable, but below 40 is when it becomes, I would say, unbearable for weightlifting specifically. And if it's below 30, it's kind of hard to even do any. It's hard to even get into the gym. But as far as like strength work, if it's below 50, I can do strength work fine. But it's like at least in my case, like my hands just get destroyed when it's that cold. Even if it's like, you know, mid 30s, it just takes so long to warm up, and you get cold so fast, it becomes so miserable. The whole just becomes miserable. But yeah, it's like you. I got a gym I can go to with platforms and stuff. It's just, you know, I have to drive to it. But yeah, it's rough, and it's not like, it just hurts. That's the thing, is like when it's cold, it's not like it's necessarily more difficult. It's just everything hurts more. It's harder to get warmed up, and your hands just become more sensitive to anything. But like the actual like weight, at least for me, it doesn't like feel that much worse. It's just getting to that point where you can actually lift the weights. Well, we're doing 50 now. When it was COVID, and I had to train out here every day, there was like in April or whenever it was unseasonably cold, and there were some really rough days, and there wasn't an option to go to the gym. There was no gyms that were open, so I was out here and layered up. I feel like I almost might have had a day where I wore gloves too to do squats, but I feel like even then I don't. But yeah, I actually kind of helps with squats when you're so bundled up. Just makes everything, like your hand just becomes so sensitive. All right.
easy.
Yeah, counting getting weightlifting gyms are hard to find. There's currently, so I'm based in Cincinnati. There's a gym that's more towards downtown. That's $100 a month, horrendously expensive. Really nice gym though, really nice facility and everything, 24/7 access, but it's just $100 a month, and it's it would be a very long drive in rush hour, going towards the downtown area. And there's another good one that's in Dayton, Ohio, and that's like 50 minutes from my house, and it's in Dayton. So it's like a really far drive, and that's still like, I think, 75 a month, and it's not 24/7 access. And they close at like 7:30. So if I went like on a school week, I'd have to not just I would basically be able to train, but I would just wouldn't be able to waste time. I would have to go there and immediately go. So that just wouldn't be very fun. And those you're still paying for the monthly membership. The gym I go to is like $35, 24/7 access, has the platforms, have my bar and stuff there. It's just not it's like a powerlifting focused gym, but I can like if you see any of my clips where I'm at the gym, like it's clearly you can do weightlifting there just fine. But yeah,
Only 15.
yeah, and it's nice too because the owner is really cool. Like he has a normal job. Like the gym isn't his business. Like it is a business for him, but he makes money not with the gym as much as his normal job, and he kind of has it just so he can push his powerlifting to extreme level. Like he's extremely strong, and I think I thought it was supposed to be this summer. I haven't heard any updates yet, but he's building another facility, like a new facility that's down the road. So that will be nice as well because the one that we're at kind of has mold, and it's just it's not like a very nice building as far as just how it's structured. Like the inside is fine, like where everything is fine, but there's like water damage and whatnot that happens with it. But the yeah, the other two weightlifting gyms, like the one downtown and the one up in Dayton, would be nice to go to. And I did go to the one towards downtown a couple weeks ago to do that big like 125 snatch and 160 clean and jerk, and I basically just maxed out everything since get my money's worth. It was like $25 for a day pass, just again ridiculous. But if that gym was like $50, I would probably just go to there and just deal with the drive to get there. But it is a pretty like if you go to any major city, like driving to into a major city during rush hour is horrendous, or just at any point in either direction. And like it's pretty close. Like it would be a pretty horrendous drive. But if it was really cheap and it has all those amenities, like it would be worth it. But I just like, as I was driving there, I was like, this would have to, I was joking to myself, like, this had to be $15 a month to get me to go here. It's like $100 isn't even the discussion. It's like, it's got to be 15 because it's just such because it was 30 minutes, under 30 minutes technically, but with rush hour, it'd be double that for almost assuredly. Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to drive far, you can find one. They're exist. They're just not close a lot of the time. If you're lucky, they're close. But yeah, I've traveled. Well, there's one 30 minutes from my parents' house that if I still lived up where I grew up, I'd go to. There's that one, and then the one in Columbus. I did a competition at, but I also went there a separate time just to train. So it's something I don't really prioritize to go to weightlifting gyms, but it is kind of nice every once in a while to kind of like, it's kind of like a nice dinner, a nice like luxurious dinner to go and like, ooh, I get to like be around weightlifters in a weightlifting space and not just, out here in the shed. But yeah, CrossFit's unbearably expensive. 50 to 70 is cheap for CrossFit. All the ones around me are like $100 plus, which is just hilarious because you only get 24/7 access and you're paying for CrossFit, which is not fun. Yeah, for me, like $100 a month would have to be 24/7 access is not even like a question for $100 a month, but it would have to have like a swimming pool and a basketball court. Like that's like a recreation center type thing would be the only thing I would pay anywhere near that for. Like the place downtown. It's RTS Barbell if you look it up. Really nice facility, has everything you would need for lifting, jerk blocks, nice plates, all of that. But it's just a gym. I have all of that stuff out here, and it's like for $100 a month, you could say $1,200 in a year, and essentially just replace anything. And like, if I put $1,200 a year into the space I have out here, I'd have a rocket ship in a couple of years. Like it's ridiculous. 30, $50 I could do. $100, there's not. $100 I need a lot more amenities than just a gymnasium or a gym, actual gym to train at. But yeah, $50, $70. That was actually when I coached baseball, there was a gym I traveled to in Toledo, Ohio, and it was half CrossFit, half weightlifting. I had no idea what the cost was. It was like $15 for a drop-in, but that was like the best setup because you had all of the CrossFit things to probably to make the money. But then the other half was just a weightlifting gym, and it was split in the building. So you'd have the weightlifting stuff, which the CrossFit people could come and do the weightlifting stuff, like it was the blocks and the platforms and stuff. But then there's the CrossFit space, and it was separate, but it was nice. So I was like, that would be the best thing to have because then you had the best of both. And it was like a barbell club they had, but that's 2.5 hours. But you drive 2.5 hours in any direction, you're gonna find a weightlifting gym that's really nice. But 2.5 hours is a prohibitive distance, I would say. Time to do 60. Want to come train in my shed, I'll charge them $100 a month. If that's the going rate for weightlifting spaces. $100 a session. $100 for 1 hour. But yeah, that's like it's one of the probably the best thing about online. It's a double-edged sword because then you end up comparing yourself to people, but just to seeing like other average people that kind of go through the similar thing, like we're talking about not finding a weightlifting gym, like finding that kind of like similar thing that we're going through, and just having people to talk about weightlifting with. Because I can only bother my roommate. We used to do weightlifting training all the time, and he just doesn't follow the sport as much. He still works out, but it's more of just general stuff. So like, yeah, I can tell him about weightlifting stuff, but he doesn't follow it. So it's nice to be around people where be able to communicate with people about whatever's happening in weightlifting, or just talking about the general training, or just like the competitions and whatnot. Certainly is my favorite part of the online thing. But the comparisons to others that are your same body weight or lighter are certainly difficult to do. Well, the thing is like you kind of have to have a mindset that you like to suck at something for like a year before you can do it, and that just takes a different. Most people don't like that. Most people don't like sucking at something for just a year before they can even realize how bad they sucked before, and just continue to suck for like 2 or 3 years until it's like, all right, I'm starting to move like enough weight to where I'm actually limited by my strength and not just my coordination. And it's really difficult to do that at first. I think for the average person, like if you're trying to get someone into lifting, it's just squatting and deadlifting and pressing, like keeping it really low pressure and focusing on those because they're really simple to learn and you can progress them very easily. But like, yeah, you have to be interested in doing it in order to want to stick with it. Because like if you're just doing it for fun, like it's often not fun to just do it for fun. It's fun to get better at it and struggle against it. But A lot of people don't like that struggle. There's a lot of I know that feeling. Someone tries it or whatever, and then they just immediately go, oh, that's a snap. That's not fun, and they just immediately don't do it. It is a nice thing because they end up respecting what you're doing a lot more, and they're like, I'll do a snatch, and they do like 95 pounds, and they're like, oh my god, this is the most difficult thing I've ever even conceived of doing because they see, 135 pounds, I can squat that, I can deadlift it, I can press it, I can bench it, I can do anything I want with it. But then you do a snatch or a clean, you're like, oh my goodness, this is a different thing with even a super lightweight. But yeah, don't worry, the struggle never ends. That's the best, the worst part of weightlifting. You never stop struggling. It never stops sucking, but it's fun. It's a fun suck. All right, 70 kilos. Yep, that was what I got into. So once I quit baseball in college, then I just did powerlifting and started dabbling in weightlifting. I had a friend; he was technically on the football team, but at my college, University of Mount Union, or there it is, the purple flag up there. Anyway, I could have been on the football team. Like anyone can make it. It's really hard to play on it because there's so many people on it. But it's also a really really good team as far as Division III football goes. But he was technically on the team, and they would do cleans, and he did an overhead squat once. And I remember doing like a random snatch in college. That was really difficult. As far I might have did 60 kilos, might be less, but I remember doing a snatch and like an overhead squat or something, and I could do it like mobility wise, but I remember going, this is so difficult. But I did a lot more cleans, power cleans. I was trying to do those, and thankfully I never got hurt doing those because I was doing them with deadlift straps on like a maniac. But thankfully I didn't lift enough to break myself. But messed around with that, and then continued powerlifting and started dabbling more in weightlifting as I was still doing powerlifting, and eventually just did a powerlifting meet, did a weightlifting meet, and realized, wow, weightlifting meets are so much more fun, and weightlifting training is so much more fun than powerlifting. So I'm going to do that because I could do weightlifting every single day, and the competitions are just faster, and I just enjoyed it. Like when you catch a heavy clean for the first time, the first one that you're not sure can get under, and then you actually get under and stand up with it, like that excitement, that feeling was what kind of addicted me to it. And it's to me it's a lot more exciting than a deadlift and a squat, even though those are fine, but nothing beats the feeling of catching a heavy clean or a heavy snatch and having to like really get down to get down, particularly with the clean. That was like, for a while, my deadlift was always super strong, I could always pull the bar super high, so I was never like worried about getting under it, because if I missed, I was like in a power clean position because I was so high with the bar and the weight was so light relative to like my deadlift. But it was like once I got above like 300 pounds and 315, it was like, all right, I have to really get fast to get under, and that's when it was like, that's where it got exciting. But we'll do 80 now. I'm procrastinating too much. 80. We'll move on to 90. Yeah, I mean, like, you could still do full range of motion in powerlifting. And, like, the guys at my gym that do powerlifting, they squat quite deep, even for as big and strong as they are. So, like, to me, that's still impressive. But the speed and the athletic ability that you need to do, like, a clean or a snatch attracts me a lot more. It gives me the same feeling as, like, throwing a baseball when I was a pitcher or long tossing, where you have to be strong and powerful, but you have to be coordinated and fast as well. So it's not just being brutally strong, being coordinated a little bit too, which is, to me, it's fun in that sense. Oh, 90. Big 90. No, I don't do cardio. Closest I get is during the school year, and being a phys ed teacher, just walk around all day. So I get a lot of steps in, but I've tried at different points. I'm not consistent with it enough to really say I do it, and I just don't really like. It's probably be good to do in some sense, but running for me at 240 or 235, 240 is not the choice for me. Stationary biking or brisk walking would be much better, but actually running would just tear me up. That is for sure. But yeah, I mean, like, in theory is good, but I just don't. It's where I'm too lazy to do it. Yeah, I think mentally I would never at any point in my life for the rest of my life want to do any sort of consistent running. Unfortunately, that is from sports and it being beat out of me that it could ever be enjoyable. Anytime I've ever had to do any sort of running, it's just been a miserable experience that I hate more than anything else in the world. Doing stationary bike, cycling, like regular cycling, and swimming, anything like that, much more preferable. Straight running, I'd rather just have a heart attack. If that was like you have to run a 5 mile or have to run a 5K, every couple days, or you're gonna have a heart, like I would just take the heart attack. But yeah, it took. I think the furthest I've ever run at once was 3 miles that I had to do in a high school class, which sucked the whole time. I got the runner's high and hated it. I was like, this is the best part of running. Like, this is a scam. This is terrible. And then when I was on the baseball team in college for the first year, we had to do so much running that I probably honestly ran like multiple times more than 3 miles just because of the amount of running that we'd have to do. And so that just takes out any potential. I don't understand how people enjoy it. That's the craziest thing to me. Is like, how can you just be like, all right, my life's gonna suck for the next 30 minutes or whatever, however long you're gonna run. Like the whole time sucks. Like I don't understand it. It feels miserable. But like swimming or like actual biking, enjoy that tremendously more. And when I was a counselor at a recreation center. It was through a recreation center, so we had access to it. Me and the one counselor, we would swim in the mornings and then do camp counseling all day. So we just run around with kids all day. So I was struggling to not lose weight because of how much activity I was getting in. But we would swim just about every day, if not every day, most of the days of the week. And I enjoyed that so much more. That was so much more enjoyable. And it was less so much that I wanted to do cardio. It was more like the Trevor, the guy that we were with, or the guy I worked with, he wanted to do cardio and wanted to, do some sort of additional fitness stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that too. And it was fun. And rode my bike in college. The apartment I stayed at in the summer, to go to the college, I just ride my bike to the college. It was, I don't know, 2 miles away or whatever. So like, I'm not against it in a sense, but running, I refuse to run. I will never be a runner. I'm never gonna be like, oh well, like really got into running. Like I'd hike. I would do plyos, sprints, any, just straight jogging. I'd rather drop the barbell on my forehead. That is for sure. But yeah, I do an assault bike. I do a rower, all of that stuff. Jogging, I'd rather do 10 by 10 back squats than that. Running is the devil. Plus, I'm not scared. I don't run from nothing. It's not, yeah. But like swimming, that's the oxymoronic thing is like I'll swim for the same amount of time as I would run and enjoy it the whole process. But I don't know. It's just a different. Maybe it's just because I've always been bottom heavy. Like my legs have always been large, and I'm probably just not. I probably don't have a genetic disposition to being good at running, which makes it less enjoyable. But I don't know. My dad, when he was in college, I think he never ran, but he would do like he would ride his bike everywhere, like actually like not just like to get to places, but actually for exercise. And so like that for me sounds much more enjoyable than than running on the sidewalk or whatever. Plus, there's also like the sidewalks around in my place where I live are not the best, all over the place. So it wouldn't really be. If it was light out, it'd be fine. But if it's dark out, I might actually just break my leg. I've gone on walks at night and almost have tripped and fallen and been unconscious in someone's front yard overnight. But I don't know. These power snatches, I'm feeling slow on these. We'll do try 95 though. The first like couple weeks of the school year, when my feet aren't used to walking thousands of steps additional every day, my feet actually have a tendency to get sore. So I do actually get not active cardio in a sense, but pretty like light cardio throughout the day. So in theory, I recover better during the school year because of that, but it's also like almost too much to a detriment to where it's not, just a casual walk. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have. I'd have to drive somewhere to get to a track. I don't. I don't know if there's any that are open around me, but also I don't really look for them. Oh, that was beautiful technique. Jeez. Yikes. Alright, at least drop down and do 90. I don't know if 100 is going to be happening. I gotta do a lot better technique than that. Yikes. Alright. Yeah, finish better. When I feel slow in power snatches, I end up rushing it. So I have to be patient, trust it. It's always like get it up high enough. So it's never an issue with that. It's a little better. We'll give 100 a try. See if we can accomplish what I wrote up. But not feeling very fast, but that's not really just today. Alright. I got it. I can always stretch mine up. I just don't get it far enough behind my head to do really nice, pretty looking ones. Yeah, it was just a little bit early. It's okay, I can run them out. It's just a big giant shelf in front of me. Well, it's, I mean, like, not the prettiest, but it's nice to, hey, appreciate it. Have a good dinner, Reed. Appreciate you stopping by for the stream. Now we are on to front squat plus jerk. I actually accomplished exactly what I wrote out, even if it was ugly. I never claimed to be a pretty lifter, that's for sure. But I'm gonna redo the knee reps. At a peak of 18, which is interesting. Right when I started. Don't understand that. Don't understand it goes 18 to whatever. But pause. Right, we're back. Or actually, these crash pads. It's actually my favorite thing to use them for. Is when I do jerks or snatch balances, so I can protect the floor a little bit. So it's kind of, if I do fail, like there's no point of it dropping on the floor because I'm going to be putting it into the rack anyway. So plus I have them. I really could use it for all my lifts, but I like the aesthetic of dropping it on the ground for my regular lifts. If it's feeling wonky. So, I'm gonna wear my glasses for a minute and stretch my hip out a little bit. I'm gonna go over there. Here's a good stretch. Oh, we're back. Got disconnected for a second. I'm gonna put my heavier knee wraps on and, in theory, do waves with these. I don't know if I want to do waves with these. Sounds kind of hard. Probably for me though. Get more volume in. Alright. Be curious to see how my mobility feels on these after doing all that stretching. Especially because yesterday my front rack mobility felt really good after doing all that shoulder stretching. We'll have to see. Back off. I don't think I'm gonna do waves on these. I think. Hey Dave, it's going pretty well. Power snatched up to 100, and that went well. and now I'm going to do front squat plus jerk. I was considering doing waves, but I think I'm just going to work straight up to 140. Go 60, 80, 100, 120, 130, 140. Maybe more, probably not, but just do one straight work up from there. Just because waves sound kind of brutal with this movement. And I might clean and jerk tomorrow, so I don't really want to do that much. And I'm probably going to squat tomorrow. Weird twinge in my hip. There's a snake in my boot. Alright. 60 kilos. We're just gonna go to 100, make my life easier. I don't really feel like doing 80, so 60, and 100, 120. Might just go right to 140, to be frank. To be frank. So assuming this feels good, 120 feels good, probably just do 140. And skip 130 as well. Rear rack's the hardest part. Everything felt good on that actual movement though, so definitely good to go to 120. Let's see how that looked on video. Yeah, squat looks fine. Jerk slow, but I'm slow, so tight. Tight. E-reps loosening up. Bekannt, we have a knot. Alright. So that was 60 and 100. I'm going to do 120. Really did not want to re-rack that. Front squat was the hardest part. That was weird, but I think we're good for 140. Let's see what that looked like. Yeah, not too bad. So re-rack, that's just brutal. So at least a 1+1 with 140. Maybe if it feels great, we try and do a second jerk, but it has to feel really good for me to want to re-rack 140. That's for sure. Water and hit it. Alright, 1+1 at least. At least. Went for the second. That's alright. At least I re-racked it. It didn't explode. But no, I hit the minimum, the 1+1. And then comma. It was good. I just didn't have enough drive on that second one. which is understandable because I'm not strong. But better, at least I had the confidence enough to try the second one. We'll see if we can do it eventually, but not today. So get the heavier knee wraps off. Definitely glad I didn't do waves though, because that was real heavy. Front squat still felt the most difficult. I think that one really started to move up once I started front squatting a bit more. But we're gonna do snatch pulls now and do one pull plus hangs like I did the other day. I'll use my weightlifting house straps. So I don't hate myself so much. So this would be one regular snatch pull and then 2 low hangs. Now 110. easy. I'm gonna switch the straps though, because the weightlifting house ones just don't work. I just can't get it to work. Crane ones. These ones I can get to work. They're a little bit wider. Alright, so that's 110, so we're gonna go 120. Twenty. Easy enough. So that was 120. We're doing 130. We did 140 a couple days ago. So I put on here 150. We'll see if I actually want to do that or not. But we'll do 130 regardless. I think stopping at 40 will be good. So we won't push up to 50 today. So when I did these the other day, also didn't start at 100, I started at 110. So getting more volume, technically. A little sleepwalker. So we'll do one more set at 140, and then we'll be done for the day. So pretty simple session. Pretty easy one. think right now it's better for me to try to do pulls more frequently than the push up in weight. So if I can, particularly with snatch pulls, I don't think I really need to do many clean pulls, but that is 140 kilos or 308 pounds. I'm just doing pulls though. And I think it's better for me to stay a bit lighter with the pulls and to do it every other day if I can, and kind of just keep working up to this 140, and maybe, you know, instead of 140 do another one at 145 or something, take smaller jumps. But once I get feeling good with pulls, I just go too heavy, so then I just lose the benefit. This will be the last set, then I'm gonna go in and eat some food. But yeah, it's 140 or 308 pounds. That's definitely a good weight to stop at. The positions are harder to hold off the ground. The hangs are all easy, but getting that simple set in is good. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of 3. Not really all at that weight, but progressing up to that weight. As I get more tolerance, more general strength for it, just maybe straight sets, but I kind of like just building up like that. Eventually go up heavier, but no need to do that now. And thank you, Sleepwalker. It's hard to hold your breath for that whole set too. It makes me sound more winded than I actually am. But there, I think that's going to be it for this training session. So some power snatches, did waves of those. Front squat plus jerk, you did not do waves of those. And then some pull plus hang snatch pulls, getting some of those in as well. Not waves for those either. So just productive in general, I would say. Tomorrow, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. To go into work tomorrow all day, so I'll probably train at the house, so I can kind of train whenever still, but I'll have to kind of see how I'm feeling from just being at work all day, if I'm extra tired or whatever, and what I'm able to do when I get home. But I would like to do, I think like the general thing is just do some sort of squats, maybe more back squats, but I might not feel like it. Might have to push them back till Tuesday, so I might not feel like them since I did some yesterday. But you know, kind of have to adjust when school starts and work starts and all of that, with, you know, the session, especially at the beginning of the year, because I'm just going to be more just generally tired than I would normally be for training sessions, and you know, physically, mentally, and emotionally tired, for more tired than I would be in a summer month. And just once I get that adjustment, then training will go back to what I want it to be, normal for the most part, but I'll make those adjustments. But with that being said, that's going to be it for this one. So if you made it to any part of the live stream, I do appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.